I'll go through every part and complain about every single little thing that annoys me for that part. Trust me, I'm not going easy on this level. By the end of this video, RobTop's probably going to ban me from playing Cataclysm at all. That's how much I'm going to hate on this level. But without any more yapping, let's get to complaining. Alright, so going into Cataclysm, we have the first part starting off this level. By far, this is the easiest part of this whole level, other than the last, 20%, but that's like half-speed gameplay. It's easier than Stereo Madness. Honestly, I don't have a whole lot to say about this first part. It's pretty chill in terms of gameplay and easy. One thing is this orb is a bit hard to time, but that's if you want to get the coin. It's not even necessary. Even considering it's a coin route, it's not even that hard. So I try to get the coin every attempt, just so that I can have all 3 coins if I do beat the level. That's one thing about this level. Coin routes are actually easier than the regular routes. Especially the second coin is way easier, but I'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, this part's pretty chill, and on to the next part. The biggest reason why this level's so unbalanced is because of this one awful, dumb, poo-poo, dookie, trash, terrible part. If I was rating these parts, I would rate this a -1 out of 10. It's that bad. This is the reason why I don't like to play this level that much, because of this extremely hard part. So hard I'm not even exaggerating. I only passed this part about 1 in 20 attempts. It's that hard. I could just keep ranting about this stupid part, but the video would be about 30 hours long, so I'm just gonna go to the next part after this awful wave part. Oh, do I have some things to say about this next part? It's a tight ship part that isn't too hard to learn. Sounds easy, right? Wrong. It has invisible size and gravity portals in the middle of a tight straight fly, which is something you never want in a level, especially right after the hardest part of the whole level. I got through it about every 1 in 2 or 3 attempts. Not the best part, but fun once you learn it. On to the next part. Okay, so the part after this, I used to absolutely hate when I was learning the level, but to be honest, it gets pretty consistent over time. It's this tight wave part, but definitely nowhere near as bad as the first wave in this level. It gets pretty consistent once you learn the click pattern, which isn't that hard to figure out either. The one thing that's bad about this part is the last few clicks are pretty annoying, but it's not that bad, so this part's fine. On to the next part. This part always worries me that I'm gonna die here, but I've made it to this part 5 times from 0, I believe, and I surprisingly haven't died to it yet. It still is hard though. You have to click pretty fast for these orbs, which is one thing I hate. I died to these orbs a lot in runs, which is quite annoying. So I was really dumb with the orbs inside of the spikes because it's so hard to react to on time. The double speed gameplay is actually kind of hard because I'm not the best at ball at all. I don't really like this part, but yeah, on to the next part. This part's kind of like the wave part, but for ball. This part absolutely sucks because of how tight it is. Seriously, this ball part is as bad as the bloodbath ball, but like half the length. Guess how many times I've died to this ball? 1, 2, maybe 3 times? No, I've died to this ball 5 times at exactly 33% for some random reason. They're all the same clicks from what I know, and I died to 33% 5 times. Why? Basically 9 really tight ball clicks through some spikes and stuff. I do not like this part at all. On to the next part. This next part is a terrible UFO part with a very hard first 2 clicks for some reason. This is one of those parts that has a really easy click pattern to learn, but isn't very consistent at all. So far, I've gotten to this part only once and died to the second click in the part. The second click is the stupidly placed pink orb that would have really been so much better if the spike right above it were moved about 2 steps up. It'd be way more fair. This part would be fine if it weren't for that pink orb, but of course, it's Cataclysm with the hardest choke point in the whole level at 10%. What do you expect? On to the next part. This part isn't that bad. It's actually pretty chill. Is what I would say if I'm crazy. This part actually sucks. It's so inconsistent and annoying to do. All it is some straight fly and some orbs. Doesn't sound that bad, right? Wrong! Halfway through the straight fly, it randomly switches to reverse gravity and mini. Might sound like it helped because of the mini, but switching to reverse gravity and mini midway through a straight fly is absolutely terrible. Trust me, it's harder than it looks. Then after that, the orbs aren't that bad as long as you time the first one correctly. But oh boy, is that straight fly a big pain. On to the next part. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. This part is almost as bad as the wave. That's how bad this is. This cube is so terrible because the first jump is like almost frame perfect. Then we have orbs that you have to memorize and it's just chaos. puts you into reverse gravity. You have to time a blue orb, go regular gravity again at the right time. Then there's another orb inside some spikes. But there's one problem here with this orb. If you turn on hitboxes, you can see this one invisible block right here behind this orb, which makes it so unnecessarily difficult to time. The only reason that this block should be here is to realign the player to hit the orb correctly, which isn't even needed after the orbs before it. On top of that, if you hold on to the blue orb slightly too long, you'll jump on these invisible blocks and you will hit the spike above you or below you because it's reverse gravity. Then, after that part, you have pretty easy, like 3-second cube part, and that's it for this part. The beginning of this part sucks, but it's better at the end. On to the next part. I can't express how much I absolutely hate this next part. It is so bad that it's worse than any other part before this, other than the first wave at 10%. That's a nightmare. Most people don't usually see this part as too hard, but for me it's just so inconsistent that I can barely get through it in a run. You have to click so precisely and actually pretty fast to get through this, and it's so weird that I often accidentally just start spam clicking when I'm going through this part without even realizing. If GG Boy just made it a few clicks less than this in the ball part, then it would be way better, but of course, it's Cataclysm. After that little ball, you have a tiny UFO, which can be pretty hard sometimes, because it all depends on if you time the first click correctly, because if you don't, then it's just very hard to recover from it. Then, a few ball clicks, and an orb, and a tiny ship part. Then there's like 2 clicks after that for the rest of the part. The only bad part is the first ball and the UFO part. Other than that, the part isn't terrible, but the ball part makes it absolutely terrible. Wait. What? On to the next part. This is an entirely ship part with some duel in it. It's almost entirely straight fly, so you better be good at ship. This first part isn't terrible going into a tight little straight fly, but then after that there are 2 gaps that are for some reason are actually hard. You have to go through the middle of 2 spikes diagonally twice, which doesn't sound too bad, but trust me, it's actually very inconsistent. This part is very iconic to the level, especially right after this couple of tight gaps you gotta get through. After the tight gaps, you have this little straight fly type of structure that goes diagonal. It's kind of weird, but it's absolutely free. And then you have this, a dual straight fly. Doesn't seem too bad, right? Well, it is too bad. You really do not know how hard some of these stupid parts are until you try them yourselves. Before I tried Cataclysm, I thought it'd be super easy, but here I am, over a month since I started going for the level, and all I have to show for it is 33% 5 times and 37% as my best. I did actually get the level into 2 runs though, because I got 35 to 100 and 37%, so that's not bad. But back to this part. The straight fly is extremely hard for absolutely no reason at all. It's essentially the same as the first straight fly in the level, but for some reason it's a duel. But there's one good thing about this part. It's that this coin right here makes this level so much easier. Literally, if you go down here through the intended path, it's extremely hard because you have to go down here, fly straight back up, and immediately control your ship to straight fly. But with the coin, you just land on the platform and straight fly from there. It's so much better. If this coin didn't exist in a level, it would be so much harder, but even with the coin, it's still really hard. Then, after that, you have a 2-block straight fly, not too bad, and then this one stupid click. Most people don't really struggle with this, but for some reason, I do struggle with it a lot. It's just a simple go up and a little 3-block straight fly, but it's really hard for me. I don't know why. But that's the end of this part. Terrible part. This part is kind of fun, but really hard at the same time. Definitely a choke point for me. On to the next one. Okay, so for some reason, I died to this wave a lot in runs, even though it's really easy, and I just can't get it down every time. Mostly, I do this part about every 3 attempts, which is not something you want 80% through a level. This part is by far the most iconic part in the whole level, and is one of the easiest parts in the level. People often manage to do this wave pretty easily, but I don't know what's up with it for me, but yeah, it's pretty short and tight wave. Not much else to say about it. On to the next part. Okay, so here's the final and easiest part of Cataclysm. The first half of this part is just a little robot, but all you have to do is click 3 orbs. That's it. Then you have the ship for the last section of the level, which is honestly just extremely free. All you gotta do is get through this tiny little straight fly, which some people actually manage to die to somehow. I only died to this part maybe 1 in 10 attempts, which is completely fine. I consider myself pretty good at straight flies, so it's really not that hard to get past this little thing, but that's the end of the level until the end screen. That's gonna be the end of this video though. I hope you enjoyed, and tell me if you want to see some Roblox content soon, because I am planning on switching back to Roblox. I don't know if people want me to do that, so tell me in the comments if you want me to do that. Yeah. I don't really remember, but this might actually be the first time I'm actually asking for you to subscribe, other than my 2-year-old videos, but those were cringy as heck. But please do subscribe because I am setting a new goal for 2025. I want to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Do you think I can do it? I don't know, but I really hope we can do it. It's a goal I've wanted to accomplish for a while now. At the time of making the script, I'm at exactly 461 subscribers, so please subscribe so that I can actually hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, and bye.